To all the viewers, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for staying with me. My name is Elena Rossi, and if you'd asked me a year ago where I'd be today, I would have said in my corner office at Hargrove and Associates, overlooking the Hudson River, closing another multi-million-dollar merger. Instead, here I am, sitting in a cozy Brooklyn cafe, sipping a flat white, and spilling my guts to you like we're old friends. Funny how life flips the script. This is my story, the raw, unfiltered version of how my picture-perfect marriage crumbled under the weight of infidelity, how divorce turned into a battlefield, and how, against all odds, love tried to claw its way back. Buckle up, it's a long one. It started on a Tuesday. Tuesdays are always the worst, right? I was knee-deep in depositions for a high-profile antitrust case against a Silicon Valley giant. Ironic, considering my husband's line of work. Mark and I had been married for 12 years, ever since we met at a Columbia Law alumni mixer. He was the charming tech whiz from Stanford who ditched California for New York's startup scene, and I was the ambitious associate grinding my way up the ladder. We were the power couple. Him building apps that changed how people connected online, me dismantling monopolies in court. We had 2 kids, Sophia, 8, and Luca, 5, and a brownstone in the Upper West Side that screamed, "We made it." That Tuesday, I came home early. The nanny had taken the kids to soccer practice, and Mark was supposed to be at a late meeting, but his Tesla was in the driveway. I remember the knot in my stomach as I climbed the stairs, hearing muffled voices from our bedroom. The door was ajar, and there they were, Mark, shirtless, tangled in the sheets with her. She was young, mid-20s maybe, blonde highlights, yoga-toned body, the kind of fresh-faced intern you'd see fetching coffee at his midtown office. His coworker, apparently. I didn't scream or throw things. I'm a lawyer, after all. I just stood there, phone in hand, snapping a photo before they noticed. Evidence. Always think ahead. "Elena?" Mark's voice cracked like a guilty teenager. She scrambled for her clothes, mumbling apologies. I didn't even look at her. "Get out," I said to both of them, my voice steady as steel. Mark tried to explain, stress at work, feeling neglected because of my long hours, but I shut him down. Save it for your lawyer. That night, I packed a bag and took the kids to my sister's place in Queens. Sophia asked why Daddy wasn't coming, and I lied, saying he had a work trip. Luca just clung to his stuffed dinosaur, oblivious. My world shattered, but I had to hold it together. By morning, I'd already called my firm's family law expert, Rebecca Klein. "File for divorce," I told her. "Irreconcilable differences, but cite adultery if needed." New York is no fault, but I wanted the leverage. The next few weeks were a blur of paperwork and pain. Mark moved into a corporate apartment in Chelsea, courtesy of his company's relocation perks. We agreed on temporary custody, weekdays with me, weekends with him. But agreeing on anything else? Forget it. He wanted to work things out, sending flowers and texts quoting our wedding vows. I ignored them, focusing on the kids and my caseload. Infidelity isn't just a betrayal, it's a virus that infects every memory. Our honeymoon in Napa Valley? Tainted. The day Luca was born? Now I wondered if he was texting her from the hospital. Discovery phase hit like a hurricane. Rebecca subpoenaed his emails, phone records, the works. Turns out the affair had been going on for 6 months. Jessica, her name was, a junior developer on his team. There were hotel receipts from the W in Times Square, flirty Slack messages that made me want to vomit. Mark's lawyer, a slick guy from a boutique firm in the financial district, countered with claims that my career had driven him away. Emotional abandonment, he called it, as if logging billable hours justified cheating. Our first mediation session was in a sterile conference room on Park Avenue. Mark sat across from me, looking like he'd aged a decade, bags under his eyes, that perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. "Elena, please," he whispered before we started, "for the kids." I glared. "The kids are why we're here. You broke this family." The mediator, a neutral woman in her 50s, tried to bridge the gap. We haggled over assets. The brownstone, appraised for $4.2 million. His stock options in the startup, valued at 7 figures if they went public. My 401k. But custody was the real war. I wanted primary physical. Sophia needed stability, Luca his routine. Mark pushed for 50-50. I'm their father, he argued, and you're always at the office. Ouch. Rebecca jumped in. Mr. Rossi has demonstrated poor judgment. Adultery speaks to character. As the sessions dragged on, flashbacks haunted me. Our first date, pizza at Lombardi's in Little Italy, laughing about our mismatched backgrounds. Me, Italian-American from Bensonhurst, him, Midwestern boy from Ohio. The proposal on the Brooklyn Bridge at sunset, building our life block by block. How did we get here? One night, after tucking the kids in, I scrolled through old photos on my phone. There we were at Luca's first birthday party in Central Park, arms around each other, cake smeared on our faces. Tears came unbidden. Was it all a lie? Court day arrived in the Manhattan Family Court Building, a towering edifice of glass and stone that felt more like a fortress. I dressed in my power suit, black Armani blazer, pencil skirt, armor for battle. Mark was there, in a tailored Brooks Brothers ensemble, his lawyer whispering strategies. The judge, a no-nonsense veteran named Harlan, reviewed the filings. This is about the children, not your egos. Testimonies started. Our therapist from couples counseling pre-affair took the stand, noting our communication issues, but praising Mark's involvement as a dad. Then Jessica, subpoenaed as a witness. She fidgeted, avoiding my eyes, confirming the affair but insisting it was over. It was a mistake, she said. Mistake? My blood boiled. Mark testified next. I love my wife, he said, voice breaking. I screwed up, but I want to fix it. He recounted memories, teaching Sophia to ride a bike in Riverside Park, reading bedtime stories to Luca. Divorce isn't the answer. His lawyer played a video montage, family vacations in the Hamptons, holidays in Aspen. The courtroom blurred as I watched. That was us, happy. When it was my turn, I composed myself. Your Honor, love isn't enough when trust is shattered. I detailed the betrayal, the lies. But mid-sentence, a memory surfaced. Our 10th anniversary, renewing vows in a small chapel upstate. In sickness and in health, we'd said. Was this the worst part? The judge called a recess. In the hallway, Mark approached. Elena, talk to me. Really talk. Against my better judgment, I did. We sat on a bench, the hum of the courthouse fading. He admitted everything, no excuses this time. I felt invisible. Your job consumed you, and I sought validation elsewhere. Stupid, I know. I opened up too. The pressure of being the breadwinner, the guilt of missing school plays. But cheating, that's unforgivable. We talked for hours, missing the afternoon session. The kids came up. Sophia's nightmares, Luca's questions about Daddy. They need us whole, Mark said. Whole? The word lingered. Back in court the next day, something shifted. Instead of fighting, we proposed a parenting plan, joint custody, therapy for us both. The judge approved, but warned, divorce is final unless you reconcile. As we left, Mark touched my arm. Dinner? Just to talk? I hesitated, then nodded. One dinner. That dinner at per se turned into 2, then weekly therapy. We didn't jump back in. It was slow, like rebuilding a house after a fire. I dated casually, a banker from Wall Street, but it felt empty. Mark ended things with Jessica for good, focusing on self-improvement, yoga, journaling, even volunteering at a tech nonprofit in Harlem. Months passed. The divorce papers sat unsigned on my desk. One evening, during a family outing to the Met, Sophia asked, "Are you and Daddy getting back together?" Luca chimed in, "Please?" Mark and I exchanged looks. That night, in our brownstone, he'd moved back platonically. We talked until dawn. "I can't promise perfection," he said, "but I promise effort." I thought of the affair's scar, but also the love beneath. Me too. We tore up the papers. Remarriage? Maybe someday. For now, we're dating. Our own version of starting over. New York traffic buzzes outside, but inside, it's quiet hope. Infidelity nearly destroyed us, but remembering the good pulled us back. Life's messy, but worth fighting for. Wait, that's just the outline. No, this is the full story. Let me dive deeper, because you asked for the whole thing. Let's rewind and fill in the gaps. It all began when I was 32, fresh out of law school debt and into the grind. Mark was 34, already a rising star at a fintech startup. We met at that mixer, him in chinos and a button-down, me in heels that killed my feet. "You're the one arguing cases while I'm coding them," he joked. Sparks flew. 6 months later, we eloped in Vegas. Impulsive, fun, us. Fast forward, Sophia's birth in 2017 at Mount Sinai Hospital. Mark held my hand through 18 hours of labor, whispering encouragement. Luca came in 2020 during the pandemic. Masks, Zoom celebrations, but we made it magical. Our life was a whirlwind. Playdates in Prospect Park, weekends at his parents' in Ohio, my family's Sunday dinners in Brooklyn with Nana's lasagna. But cracks formed. My promotion to partner meant 80-hour weeks. Mark's company went through funding rounds, travel to San Francisco. We became ships passing. Quick kisses, texted I love yous. Sex? Rare. Intimacy? Forgotten. The affair's discovery wasn't dramatic like in movies. No private investigator, just intuition. I'd noticed his late nights, the password change on his phone. That Tuesday, I left work early for a migraine, but really, suspicion gnawed. Seeing them? It was like a punch to the gut. Jessica bolted. Mark chased me downstairs. It's not what you think. Classic. I drove to my sister's, kids in tow. Maria, my older sis, poured wine and listened. "Kick him out," she said. "But the kids." Sophia sensed something, drawing pictures of a broken heart. Luca asked for Daddy's stories. Filing day. Rebecca's office in Midtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows. We'll go for alimony, child support, standard 35% of his income. Mark earned $450K base plus bonuses. I made $600K. But money wasn't the point. It was the betrayal. Mark's response papers claimed I was work-obsessed, attaching emails where I canceled family plans. Low blow. Mediation won. We screamed. "You threw us away for a fling," I yelled. "You were never there," he shot back. The mediator called a break. Flashback. Our first fight over moving to the suburbs. I wanted city life, he wanted space. We compromised on the Upper West Side. Always compromising, until now. As divorce loomed, I threw myself into work, won the antitrust case, made headlines in the Times. But at home? Emptiness. Friends set me up. A doctor from NYU. Nice, but boring. Mark dated too, I heard through the grapevine. A marketing exec. Jealousy stung. Custody evaluation. A psychologist interviewed us, the kids. Sophia said, "I want both parents." Luca drew a family portrait with everyone smiling. The report recommended joint. Fair, but it meant seeing Mark weekly. Court prep. Rebecca drilled me. Stay calm, focus on facts. But facts included steamy texts. "Can't wait to see you again." Vomit-inducing. The trial. Harlan's courtroom packed with lawyers, a few spectators. Opening statements. Mine painted Mark as unfaithful, his as remorseful. Witnesses. My best friend testified to my devotion, his colleague to his work stress, but not the affair. Loyalty. Jessica's testimony. She looked terrified in a modest dress. It started at a team-building event in the Catskills. Alcohol, flirting. Mark winced. I felt a twisted satisfaction, then pity. She was young, manipulated maybe. Mark's turn. Tears streamed as he spoke. Elena is the love of my life. I lost my way, but I'm found now. He listed acts. Coaching Sophia's soccer, Luca's t-ball, the video. Clips from Disney World, Thanksgiving in Ohio, our vow renewal. I cried silently. Recess talk. We poured hearts out. I missed you, he admitted. Not just physically, us. I confessed. I buried myself in work to avoid feeling inadequate. Vulnerability bridged the gap. Post-recess, we amended petitions. Therapy mandated, co-parenting classes, judge-approved provisional order. Healing began. Therapy with Dr. Patel in the village, unpacking resentment, rebuilding trust. Dates, walks in Highline, picnics in Battery Park. Kids noticed, Sophia beamed, Luca hugged us both. One night, after a movie at AMC Lincoln Square, Mark kissed me. Fireworks, like the first time. Let's try, I said. Today, we're together, not perfect, but committed. Divorce taught us love needs work. If you're in the trenches, hang on. Second chances exist, even in the city that never sleeps. Thank you for watching the full video. Next video is coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.